Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Mountain Witch Tarot channel. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we are doing a really short little video on Donald Trump and the SCOTUS ruling on the tariffs. Real quick before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe and stick around. Now, what do we got here? Okay, we're going to make this short and sweet. It's a small spread, and it's going to give us a whole bunch of insight. This one's really crazy. So, here's what we got. I asked the question, what happened to the tariff money? Did Donald Trump spend it? So if you don't know what's going on, the short version is it's looking like SCOTUS may rule against Donald Trump when it comes to the tariff case. And the other day, I guess he got wind of that and he made this weird, vague threat about, this could cause some type of financial crisis in the United States. And everybody's like, wait, what? Don't you just have that money sitting in a bank account somewhere and it can just then go back to where it came from? Because the government's been shut down and Congress is the purse. So what do you mean financial problems or crisis? So we got this situation where now people are kind of wondering, did you spend it? Where's the money? So that's what I asked, straightforward. So what do we got here? Okay, let's start with the top line. The top line talks about what I believe is a tactical strategy to make up for the difference for someone who can't do everything themselves because maybe illness, old age, whatever the case is. The sick bed came out. We know that from previous readings that Donald Trump is the kind of person who firmly believes that if you want the job done right, you have to do it yourself. But I think because of his failing health, he knows that he can't execute all of his plans alone. And that's why he has surrounded himself with so many loyalists. Even more importantly, he built his own military. Okay, this gets more interesting. So in the second line, this shows the administration. These are the people that he trusts the most. See the moon right next to him? This is kind of a reference to work and them reflecting his desires. So they're like the moon to his sun, basically. But I think he also picked them because he knows the most about them. Because you remember back around, after the election when he's picking his administration, it was like, why is he picking all these weird people? I mean, I thought that. I just assumed everybody else probably thought that too. Like, what? Why? Why would he pick these people? Kind of a weird combination for a cabinet. Then considering that we have the mice and stork card here, I feel like this may even be a reference that not only does he know these people very well, but I think he can probably control them pretty easily because he probably has dirt on them. Because we do have a reference to like a dirty reputation here. And basically, can be used, can be beneficial in some ways. Now, we will come back to this line in just a second. So the third line is really the most interesting because it's mainly about the public and see here we have the reference to the public. So that and the desire to bring some type of big stability to communities and cities. But this stability is kind of like a one-sided type of stability from the perspective of Trump and the administration. So basically, this isn't the type of thing that is good for all. It's more like a case of something being good for a few. And who is that few? Well, obviously we have some references here to who we might be talking about. And they just also happen to be in the same rows. We have the medal for the military operations or ICE, the administration, and the loyalists. Now let's put the whole thing together. So I believe that Donald Trump spent the money on ICE. And if it wasn't ICE alone, then it was some other type of military operation as well. But I really believe that it's ICE because of this third line down here. This is something that's really beneficial to him, his administration, his loyalists. But I don't think that he did this all by himself. I think that he delegated this duty to his administration, specifically those closest to him, that he knows he can trust. And he allowed them to find the path ahead to achieve this goal. The goal itself is about stabilizing the public and keeping them under physical control. So we have this reference here, which is really important, to this physical, it's like an abusive control situation. And I think the reason that he wants this control is so that he and the administration can carry out the task that they planned all along. I'm sure we all remember Donald Trump constantly talking about the enemy within, right? In the Fate line, we have a big reference to cutting the enemy out, cutting out the enemy, and leaving only the loyalist and basically what serves them. So, ask a pretty simple question. I got a very dynamic answer. Let me know what you guys think of this. We're going to ask one more question and another small spread, and then we're going to wrap the video up. Okie dokie. So, question number 2. What happens if SCOTUS rules against Donald Trump's tariffs? So, right here in the center, looks like this is going to fall squarely on the heads of the administration because they're at the center of the reading, and the mice card is looming right over top of their heads. So in being loyal to Donald Trump, which is right here, they were the ones who found the means to carry out this plan. There is a sudden ending right here, and the fate of ICE becomes uncertain, okay? The public control that they had becomes unstable, and their ability to continue also becomes uncertain. The self-interest here is revealed, but it looks like they are able to put some kind of nice spin on the strategy they created to make it more palatable to the public. But we do have the Sun card here, so this attempt might fail and lead to some type of exposure. The most interesting outcome is right up here, though, with Donald Trump and the sickbed here in the corner. I feel like this could go in several different directions, but I think it's essentially him, once again, obfuscating accountability and responsibility. So once again, he is essentially insulated as long as he's wrapped in that big, thick layer of plausible deniability that he depends on for everything. Okay, right there. So that looks like the outcome as far as what will happen if SCOTUS rules against him. Now, the fate line down at the bottom is answering specifically, a little more specifically. I mean, that's pretty specific, but this kind of gets down to the point that we're really looking for an answer to, which is that we finally have the safe card, by the way. So this indicates the money itself. And then there is a reference to agreeing to return the money. However, I think there's also a reference to pulling this money from society in order to pay it back. So, very interesting. I will be excited to see how this plays out. Let me know what you all think about this. Hopefully it does some real damage to this administration and kind of shows people a little glimpse into what is really going on behind the scenes, because they are really playing dirty and doing a lot of really heinous stuff. And it seems like they just get away with it at every turn, you know, with that plausible deniability. I'm going to start using this as my plausible deniability card in Trump readings. All right, guys, let me know what you think of this little short video, and leave me a comment. I always enjoy reading your comments and your thoughts and your opinions on things. If you haven't already, hit the like button, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe, stick around, become part of the community. I will see you all in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. See you later.